Hi guys, do you really want to but you have serious issues in keeping up with an exercise routine? Or you just don't see the point in having a routine for exercises and you just don't understand why do people preach it having so much? Then this video is for you. In fact, I was happy with my routine, but for you, I decided to stop exercising for 2 weeks. In other words, I decided to stop doing something that everyone says is important. And unlike what you might think, it was an amazing and an eye-opening experience. And I'm here to tell you that you should try it out as well. It will be a revelation. By the end of this video, you will understand why exercising and having a routine can potentially change your life. At least, I hope so. But I promise you one thing, you won't waste your time. Okay, we all know exercising is important for our bodies. Everyone agrees to this, doctors, scientists, even religious folks. But not everyone does it, especially in this period of turmoil when the motivation levels are low, or when you have depression, or when you work a lot. We are living in a complex world with our increasingly complex lives, and somehow exercising just doesn't fit the bill sometimes. In fact, in almost all of my classes, I have at least 1 or 2 students who advocate not exercising. So I wanted to check out what happens if I don't exercise for 14 days. And I actually thought that I could use that extra time in the day for myself or for my startup. Now let's start from my normal routine very quickly. So I wake up, have water, reply to messages because a part of my team is in another time zone, check my calendar, and then comes the exercise part. Then a quick shower, making and having a large breakfast, and then office for 12 hours, and then come home, spend some time to unwind, and then sleep. Yeah, that's all. Pretty tight, huh? And repeat. Now, as I was planning not to exercise, I realized that I would save approximately 3 hours on an average. Not because I exercised for so long, but because apart from the exercise time, there are many other things that you must do when you exercise. For me, it is extensive warm-up and stretching before and after a workout because of the back pain. So I exercise at home, so there's no traveling time. On top of that, when you exercise, then you have to eat a lot, spend time eating that much food, then making and having post-workout, getting more sleep to rest your body, compulsory shower, etc., etc. So overall, easily 3 hours saved every single day, like on an average. I was amazed by this thought. That's a lot of time in a 24-hour period. Now, let's see my learning from these 14 days. The first day, honestly, it was just like any other rest day. Even the second day was the same, nothing special. But the third day was marvelous. I was prepared. I knew I didn't have to spend all that time that day. I didn't have breakfast at all. I didn't take bath, so I was in the office at 8 o'clock instead of the normal 10:30. And I was super duper productive. I corrected the homework of all my students for the entire week. But for the next 2 days, because it was already a Thursday, but it sounds better, the entire week. I scripted the notes for the next online lesson that we were gonna have. It was on coordinate geometry, a very difficult topic. I even made the lesson for our debate course on China's policy on Hong Kong. Again, a difficult and an interesting topic. Basically, a super duper productive day. That day, I slept well. My mind was happy. I was satisfied that I could do all of this. The next day, I was super excited to continue and repeat the same. And more or less, I did it. So again, a good sleep, very happy, but there's always a but. The next morning, the 5th day, I'd slept more than usual, but I woke up a bit tired. Anyway, I went on with my day. It was a Saturday, so my classes were only until 6:30 p.m. Now, I generally stay in the office till late, especially in the COVID period because nothing much to do outside. But I didn't feel so great as I was feeling constriction in my body, and sitting during the online classes was too much for me. So I knocked off early and went for a walk with my friend. Now pay attention to the snowball effect. I was feeling colder than usual as my blood circulation was not the best now. Of course, it's normal since I generally do exercises and I hadn't for 5 days. Now I remember asking my friend, "Is it cold?" And he said, "Davvero? Ma che dici?" That's my Italian accent. Nice, eh? Anyway, that meant really, what are you saying? It wasn't cold. Then we met other friends, bought some beers and sat in the square. I was really uncomfortable because my back was constricted and my glutes were tight. I was feeling the burden. So, the snowball effect. I drank a bit more than usual to feel less uncomfortable. My friend asked me if I was okay and offered me a smoke. I generally try not to smoke, but that day I did. A few of them. Anyway, the next day, the Sunday, was quite bad. All the constrictions had increased a lot more. I told my friends no for the Sunday bike ride because of the 14-day no exercise thing, the project. Right. Instead, I stayed at my home, watched movies. Since I didn't feel like cooking, so I ordered in pizza for lunch, burger for dinner, to feel good. Surprisingly, I sat on my sofa that day as I didn't want to sit on the chair because I didn't feel like sitting all erect and using my back. I must tell you, I almost never sit on the sofa. It's really bad for your back, especially if your back is already not okay. Now, the day passed and a new week started. I wasn't particularly thrilled about it. As the days passed, my energy levels were going down fast and my productivity was worsening. My enthusiasm in the office was going down. I wasn't coming up with new ideas. I wasn't so fun and involved with my students. And I was tired mentally as well at the end of the day. Now, don't get me wrong, I did all the work for the office, but I didn't do much apart from that. Like, come on, I have a startup. So, for example, I worked on some video ideas for YouTube, but I didn't take any one of them to completion. The thing is, I generally do more than that when I spend the time exercising. Anyway, I continued. By Thursday, which was the 10th day, in 2 of my classes, my students joked about me being lethargic and sort of sad. Okay, now that's not fun because it's me who generally say this to them. By Saturday, the 12th day, 6 more classes had something to say about the change in my behavior. By this time, I started joining my colleagues for smoke in order to go down into sunlight. That was my excuse. My sofa in the office, that used to be the place where I would put my stuff, but it was now becoming the place where I would go and lie down in between the classes because I was feeling very constricted. Also, in between my classes, I'll stretch, I'll keep moving my wrists and feet in the middle of classes, my neck, and oh my God, my spine. I was taking more time to unwind. For example, extended lunchtime, unnecessarily, watching movies long into the night, or eating cookies or a small peg of whiskey since I didn't have to wake up early, for exercises. Long story short, I started smoking, eating bad, sleeping bad. I was always with constriction in my body. My back was fucked up. I was less energetic throughout the day. I was a bit moody, slow at work, foggy thought process. And I think I smiled and laughed a bit less as well. And I was a bit lost at times. I didn't even do meditation that I used to do like 2 to 3 times a week. In the end, I just felt tired. But I wanted to complete the challenge. So I talked to one of my friends, my best and laziest friend, I must say. He told me that it was just the initial phase, but slowly and steadily it will be okay and I'll be like him. I won't get overweight also because I just have to eat a bit less, but of course a bit good, and develop a lifestyle around that. In fact, many of my students also said something similar in my classes. But I gave up. And I'm sorry I lied about the 14 days. I gave up on finishing the 12th day. The next day, I dragged my lazy body, my smoke-filled lungs, my fatty liver, and my foggy mind onto the cycle. And through the constrictions, I paddled. Every paddle was difficult. I wanted to stop, but I'd already seen what happened. So I pushed and I went through the motions. And I had extra back pain the next 2 days. It was horrible. I had sciatica and all. I was sore as shit all over my body, even if I didn't really push during my exercises. But after that 12-day gap, it was bad. It was bad. But today is the 18th day. Almost a week back on my normal schedule. My back pain is way less. I'm more mindful. I feel energetic. I'm breathing better, deeper. I wake up better, even with lesser sleep. My soreness has passed. I've got my learning. I know that I won't be repeating this experiment, at least not for a very, very long time. I've realized it took me years developing this habit of exercising, and my schedule at work, my socializing routine, my other hobbies, my projects, even the choice of my friends and my girlfriends was around this habit. And not in a suffocating way. I know it sounds very onerous, but no. It was more like in a helping way. Exercising has simply become my anchor. I've realized that the extra 3 hours that I'm spending in and around exercises shouldn't be seen in isolation, because everything you do is connected and has an effect on your overall day, on your work, on your body, on your mind, on your soul, and even on your relationships. It's an investment for your life. What about you? What's your daily schedule? Do you have issues with self-discipline? Or if you have any other challenge for me, then let me know in the comments. Or if you want to schedule a personal session with me, if you want to talk to me directly, then write to me on my social media links. Finally guys, please leave a like on this video as YouTube algorithm likes it, and also I like it, and also subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you won't miss any of my new videos. And that's all. Try this experiment or don't try it, but I hope you got the message. That's all. Cheers.